even Voletta Wallace had told me personally, like, hey, all she needs to do is, confess to, to admit what she had done, and if she were to ask for forgiveness, I would extend my hand of forgiveness. It's all right. Happy to sit down and give you some content.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Well, today marks March 9th, 28 years, I believe, since the death of Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, it has been 28 years. It seems like just time flies, but he's been gone longer than he was here.
Yeah, we're still talking about him.
Yeah. I mean, what was he, 25, I think, or 24 when he passed, and it's been 28 years since he passed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just came from the Biggie Museum over in Brooklyn. That's how we kind of honored this anniversary, was to go over and go through his museum. And it's kind of cool. If you're ever sliding through Brooklyn, make a point of stopping by his little outpost there. They got some really cool content in there, and met some cool people, some fans of Biggie's that were there, and the curator of the museum was there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was your, what did you feel when you were looking at all these, at his things? It kind of, all his accomplishments, his room that they kind of recreated it growing up.
Yeah.
To the reward of that, to find his killer. I mean, what was going through your mind just walking through there?
What I thought was really cool about it is I feel like Voletta would have had to have some input into it to show how his room would have been set up, and where his TV and where his Nintendo was, and so that was kind of neat. It was like endearing, like this would have been like his boyhood room.
Right.
And then so I thought about that. I was thinking about, Voletta probably was instrumental in helping them figure out how to set up his little room, and then they had his award area, and there was like a makeshift basketball court,
right.
and then the big signature board, where everybody, just hundreds and hundreds of signatures of people that had passed through, and some pretty prominent names were on that board.
Right.
It was cool. Then the big throne, the throne that you sat in.
Yeah.
With your king's hat on. Or your crown.
Yeah.
That was cool. I think it's pretty touching. I loved it.
Absolutely.
It was cool.
The lady, she was really nice about it. I didn't notice I was wearing a death row chain.
Yeah, so fucking AG goes in, and he's got a death row medallion on.
Which Reggie gave to me.
You got that from Reggie?
Yeah, motherfucker,
So the girl's like, seriously, you walking in here wearing a death row medallion?
I felt so bad, man.
Biggie's bedroom.
Oh my God.
It was funny.
Want me to get you a picture?
No, I'm
Like a death row record check.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you did not. Did you really?
I didn't even know. That is my bad. I didn't even know that. I didn't even, no disrespect. No disrespect whatsoever.
But like I said, I could.
But yeah, it was cool. It's cool. I'd recommend anybody coming through New York that is interested in Biggie's legacy, stop by there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we had the sad news of his mother, Voletta Wallace, passed away recently.
Voletta's gone.
Any thoughts when you heard about that?
No, I knew quite a while ago that, her health hadn't been great for quite some time, and, it's inevitable. You get old and sickness sets in, and, we lost her, and unfortunately, she was never able to get the kind of closure or satisfaction that she deserved regarding her son's death. It's sad. I know that they're planning, I think that the girl at the museum was saying that they're going to be having a private funeral for her sometime next week, and so I think the kids are in town.
Right.
in order to attend that. I'm sure it'll be quite a moving event.
Brad, you actually had a conversation at one point with her, like a personal conversation.
In person, I did just at the time that I published my book back in 2011. And then I stayed in touch with her for probably 3 to 4 years after that, just touching base. But then we lost contact, and she was maintaining most of her communications were then with Darren Dupree over the last decade before he retired last year.
Mm. I understand.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's definitely something that's, a sad, maybe a sad ending, I guess. She didn't get any closure. She did leave his legacy, as far as the kids. And
yeah, she got to see the kids grow up and, kind of grow into their own lives, and having a son like Biggie, quite a legacy to be proud of for her. It's always going to be a notable thing.
right.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
too bad.
absolutely. Some people would say Teresa got off easy.
She did. Anybody that gets away with murder, it gets off easy.
Yeah. I guess, well, I feel like kind of dumb asking this question, but it's just, it would just interfere with her personal life if Teresa would probably make herself public and publicly known about her.
Been saying that. I've been saying that for years, man. I've been hoping
What?
hoping that she would someday just do the right thing. She has immunity, unlike Keefe D. She has actual immunity and can take responsibility. And even Voletta Wallace had told me personally, like, hey, all she needs to do is, confess to, to admit what she had done, and if she were to ask for forgiveness, I would extend my hand of forgiveness to her for her role in that murder. I mean,
Wow, she said this.
Yeah, she said if she were to publicly admit her role and ask me for my forgiveness, I would forgive her. That's exactly what she said. And so I'd always hoped that Teresa would be like, man, that's it's the least I can do. It's the least I can do is just tell my story, accept responsibility, at least in the public domain. I'm never going to be held accountable for it in any kind of criminal prosecution. And, in my opinion, it's a stand-up thing to do in front of your kids, too. Because your kids know, her children are grown now, and they know the story. And you would think that they would, the best thing to do to teach a kid is to, in my opinion, is to say, hey, take responsibility for the things you do, regardless of the costs.
Right. Did you ever tell Teresa what Voletta told you about forgiveness?
I didn't, me personally, I never told her, but I know that message was communicated to her. But it wasn't me that told her that, but it certainly was made known to the investigators that were speaking directly with her after I retired. So yeah, she absolutely was aware of it.
Again, I would have to ask this. I don't know Teresa. I don't think I even know what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout your findings and speaking to her, do you think she's sympathetic about her role in Biggie's murder?
Sympathetic. That's a great question.